Anobandla, Anobandla, Anobandla. Viva the spirit of no surrender, viva. Viva ANC, viva. Molweni, ndingubhambathi igama. Into kaMandela ifan sam sobudoda, inguza noxolo. Ndingumntana kazinziswa nobutho Mandela. The words seem to have failed me at this time. What is it you say when you have to speak on a parent you never thought you would bury? Even at 81, uMakhulu is one person I thought would live forever. I feel it has been exceptionally hard experiencing this loss because uMakhulu was not only my grandmother, but she was my mother. I had the privilege of being the first grandchild umama no tata umkhulu were able to raise after Tata Umkhulu had returned from prison. uMakhulu loved telling me the story of granddad coming back from prison and me dragging him by the hand toward the downstairs bathroom and saying, "Granddad, there are guns in there." And of course, to his disbelief, once the door was unlocked, there were guns in there. Just last week, Sunday, we were gathered at the house in Orlando for Sunday lunch. And when she was admitted later that evening, I thought it would be a case of me going to see her the next day in Mill Park Hospital. I saw myself walking into the hospital room the next morning, her waking up from her nap with a beautiful smile on her face, lit up as she said, "Ah, it's the chief himself. And where is my Makoti?" And I would respond, "She's right here, Makhulu." It was just last year, on October the 13th, when we got engaged, in the same place where the mattress has been placed in the sitting room at the house in Soweto. I remember being extremely nervous. And on that day, in a house full of my partner's friends and parents, I was in need of major courage. And my first stop was uMakhulu's room. I knocked on the door, the ring in my pocket, and I proceeded to Big Mommy. I kissed her on the cheek, and I took the ring out of my pocket to show her. She said, "Wow, darling, is this the ring? So she truly is the one. Well done, my boy." And after I left her room with her courage in my soul, I was able to get down on one knee in front of many people and profess my love for the one I am with in preparation for forever. She said yes, and I immediately went back upstairs to Makhulu, and I told her. She rejoiced with me, saying, "You did it, my boy, you did it." It fills my heart with joy to know that I had that moment with Makhulu in life. To see Makhulu full of pride because her boy was growing up and he was doing it the right way. I haven't always done things the right way. In fact, I was a bit of a rebel growing up. You may remember an incident where my name appeared in headlines of Sunday papers after being involved in a fight. And after that incident, Big Mommy would call me weekly and demand that I come to Parliament, the name we've given to the house in Soweto, to collect pocket money. And if I didn't come, she would call me to say, "Bambi, how are you, my boy? Why haven't you come to collect your money? I don't want to hear about you stabbing people down the road in Ethel for money." And together we would chuckle. It was never a dull moment with Umama. How an old lady had so much energy to sit down and listen to people's problems and often offer or become the solution simply amazes me. Big Mommy gave us her all. She fought for our people and gave us her life. She could have left Soweto, she could have left the township and gone to the suburbs like many of us did, but she chose not to because she wanted to live amongst the people she fought for, loved, and protected. It is those same people who still fight, love, and protect her legacy today and forever. I used to ask her, "Makhulu, why don't you get a house near us, or even just stay with us for a few days if my mother was away? And she'd say, darling, I don't think I'll be able to sleep. And if I do, I don't want to wake up next to my enemies. Behind every great man is an even greater woman. Umama was the embodiment of that quote. Many people today speak of the struggle and will mention Utatumkulu without giving word or praise to Umama's contribution. People who think like that are wrong. And simply, without getting into semantics, it's for the simple reason that women cannot be compared to men. It is queens who raise kings, who create us. Umakhulu was a queen who's raised a nation of kings and queens, many of whom I sit amongst today. As a grandchild, I would like to thank you all for being here, for extending your love and support to my family in this time of grief. I would like to thank my friends for their heartfelt messages. And I would like to thank Big Mummies Makoti, the love of my life, for being my strength when I am weak. In conclusion, I'd like to say this is a time of mourning, but also a time to celebrate the life of Umakhulu and her legacy, not for us just as a family, but us as the country and the world as a collective. We have lost an extraordinary woman in Mami, a mother, a soldier, an icon. Your support is overwhelming and very much appreciated. For those of you who are still trying to drag the name of Umakhulu, archbishops and chiefs alike, the people are angry, we are hurt, and we will not tolerate your defamatory messages or disrespect. You must learn to respect this legendary individual who has mothered a nation instead of behaving like ungrateful children. Long live Winnie Mandela, long live. Viva ANC, viva. Enkosi.